Many of my clients ask me how to resolve a problem. In recallhealing, we pay attention on the problem. Why do I have the disease? Why do I have the conflict? As we discover why we have it, on the way we discover how to get rid of it. But quite often, the most important is to discover the source of the problem. You have some people, they have a deep self-conflict of devaluation. So how to resolve that? The first thing, we build a life story. Okay, we try to find in my life, why do I feel devalued? And quite often you feel devalued because of what happened when we were young with dad and mom. And sometimes it started between dad and mom. It started even in the womb. This is why we study the project purpose, the life timeline. But also we carry on some unresolved issues that happen from the family clan. Okay? So now, let's bring that back to our father, mother. Sometimes dad and mom, one of them didn't accept the pregnancy. Sometimes the parents had an argument during the pregnancy. And the impact is my father never accepted me. And I suffer all my life, even if I'm 57 years old today, because daddy didn't accept me while I was in my mother's womb. So we say healing is to grow up, to take the child that was hurt in the past and to bring him into the present. When we talk about self-devaluation, you have two important reasons why a person will feel self-devalued. We say devaluation is not a biological conflict, which means wild animals do not feel devalued normally. The ones who feel devalued are the domestic animals because they carry on the conflict of their masters and mistresses. Right? So normally, what is the motor of devaluation is comparison. When I compare myself with another one, that is the first conflict. I compare myself because, if you imagine that in school, when you have a score for your grade, let's say you will be between 0 and 100%. There's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody less good than you. And then you can choose with who you compare yourself. Do you compare yourself with the better or you compare yourself with the worse? But there's always an element of comparison. And my value depends on the way I perceive myself. Okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing, the worst thing, is the comparison with myself. So today, if I compare myself at 57 with what I was at 25, always I find something in the past that I was better than today. The real motor of devaluation is comparison. I compare myself with what I am today, with what I was in the past. Sometimes I always find that I was better in the past, and sometimes not. Right? But what is interesting is when I compare myself with the moment I was better than today, it's easy to feel devalued, because as soon as I find somebody that I consider better than me, I judge myself. Right? So how can I resolve the conflict of devaluation? If the best way to overcome comparison is to give the best of what I am every day. So which means that today I try to be excellent to myself. Today I try to give the best of what I am. Yes, but today I will have 2 out of 10. It's the best I can do today. I'm excellent to myself today. 2 out of 10. I love myself, whatever happens. Tomorrow I have 9 out of 10. I love myself the same way because tomorrow I gave the best of myself and I have 9 out of 10. So it doesn't depend on the score. It depends on the work that I provide and the intensity I put in my work. But it's a little bit like a child. Many parents, when they have their children, they look at the score of the children, and because the child has 6 out of 10, they let the child believe that they don't love the child anymore. And when the child has 9 out of 10, now the child understands that he has more value because he has 9 out of 10. Yeah, but the good parent says the one that you have 6 or 9, I don't give a shit. I appreciate the work you do, but whatever score you have, darling, it's you I love. And it's not what we have learned from our parents. We have learned that the love depended of the score that we provided. Okay? So you have some children, they have 95%. And the parents look at that and they say, what about the 5 missing percentage? What does that mean? That means we learn from our parents that whatever we do is never enough. So the boomerang effect is feeling devalued. Okay? So if you have that as a setup as a child, it follows us the rest of our life. Okay? So we need somebody to stop it. And to stop that, we need to change the way we perceive things. And working with the concept of excellence is one good way to overcome it. Okay? Now in recallhealing, people ask a lot, how can I resolve a problem? And I told you a little bit earlier, for me in recallhealing is why I have the problem. That's enough. But over the last 20 years, I've developed a little document called letting go sheets or suggestion to let go. And in that, there are 2-3 modalities that I like. But by the way, in order to resolve our problem, we need to consider the belief system of an individual. Some people are religious. So why don't they use their faith for that? Okay? So the work with their faith and the connection with God can be very important for them to let go and to overcome certain problems. Some people, they don't have any faith, but they have certain belief in certain structure of the world. Okay? So the therapist, the facilitator has to use everything that makes sense to the clients to help the clients to elaborate a solution. Right? So it's never the therapist that brings the stuff, but that belongs to the therapist to make the clients talk about what he has in his toolbox to resolve his problem. Okay? But there are 2 things that I like very much. Quite often we are ill because we had a different perception, a perception of things that made us ill. And I like very much today to use Ho'oponopono to change the perception. And for example, if I feel terribly devalued regarding my father, regarding my mother, regarding whoever, or regarding myself, I like to say, for example, in Ho'oponopono, you say, whatever I have in me that is causing me to experience this situation, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. In Ho'oponopono, we take 100% responsibility for the problem that happens to us. Even if it's not true, even if it's not right, we do it because from the moment you imagine it's you, you don't blame anybody else. And if you don't blame anybody else and you think it's you, you work with yourself. Right? This is why when you say, whatever memory I have in me that is causing me to experience this problem, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. What is interesting, remember, we develop an illness or we develop a problem based on our perception. And the automatic brain has just the body that it controls to elaborate a solution. So if I take 100% responsibility and I say, whatever I have in me that is causing me to experience this, and I say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, and I insist, I say it, I repeat it a lot, it creates a pressure on the automatic brain. And the brain says, okay, I have enough, I will give you what you want. And eventually, what was the object of my upset start to fade away. Simply because I work on myself regarding changing my perception. And in biology, changing the perception changes everything. This is why for many people, when they do a good Ho'oponopono, their life changes. So that is the first thing that I suggest. What I have noticed is, let's say you have some people, they feel deeply devalued regarding dad, okay? I cannot catch Dad, I feel devalued, I will never be recognized by my father, and I cry, and Dad is dead and I still cry. Okay? Am I going to cry the last 40 years of my life? So now what is interesting, I need to change the perception in me that I had of my father, or that perception in me that my father had about me. So what I suggest, it's a very simple modality, is I put my left hand on my heart, right hand, and I say 10 times to myself, my heart is full of love and understanding. My heart is full of love and understanding. My heart is full of love and understanding. Right away as I say that, I start to feel the energy shifting in my heart. And then I say, my father's heart is full of love and understanding. Even if he's dead, I act like if he's there. And I insist, my heart is full of love and understanding. It's like if it creates another pressure on my brain, and my brain downloads inside of me a different perception that I have of my father. Curiously, all the disease, the problem that I have, because I've perceived my father this way, or I felt perceived like that by my father, changes. And my father doesn't know about that work, and nobody knows. But my brain knows, and my brain is the one that downloads the change of perception into my subconscious. And curiously, what upset me before stopped to upset me as much, and all the feeling of devaluation that I had regarding my father, I even forget about it. It's amazing. It's very simple. It doesn't cost anything, but it needs determination, practice, and you do that with love and intensity. So it's what I suggest quite often, and as two common letting go modality.